Y'all peep game, man. The homie Brian off IG, man, sent me a video of a crazy situation, man, where Super Dad showed up, man, and tried to save his adult son from making the worst mistake he could have ever made in his life. And he wasn't even invited, man. He just heard about it and showed up, man. So, pretty beta looking dude, man. Look like he's all caught up with the chick, man. And you can look at her and look at him. And unfortunately, some of you guys may not want to hear this, but you can look at her and look at him and tell that she was marrying him with an ulterior motive. Now, he's there. They're up in front of and I think a lady was marrying him, man. He's up there, and they're going through the motions, and suddenly, a man stands up in the crowd. And what he says shows how hurt he was at the mistake that his son was about to make. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, before we go any further, man, let me thank everybody for subscribing to the channel, man. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and do that. Click the bell, click notifications, so you can be alerted whenever I come through and drop it off again. This situation, man, is something that I've never seen before. Here's a man who stands up in the middle of a wedding that he wasn't invited to and comes to the aid of his son, the unappreciated aid of his son, and simply asks him a question. I know you're not serious. I know you're not serious, son. I know you're not about to do this. This chick don't even love you because his dad saw what I saw. See, this is what you have to understand, man. If you look at yourself and you know that the woman that you're with, the woman that you think you won in the lottery, if you feel so blessed because you can't believe you got a woman like her, then you better believe there's an ulterior motive, and that's why you got a woman like her. Here's a dad trying to save his son, man, from making the worst decision he could ever make in his life. Because when a woman is marrying you for an ulterior motive, that ulterior motive is always a come up. It's always money. It's always financial gain. It's always to drain your pocket. That's the only ulterior motive a woman can marry you for. Unless a woman has, of course, we get on down the line where a woman has multiple children by multiple men, and she's gotten a little older and hit the wall, then yeah, she wants someone to marry her. She'll marry you just because you're there and you're willing to stick around and you're trying to make all those children feel like you're their dad and all of those things. But without all of those extenuating circumstances, when a woman marries a man for an ulterior motive, that ulterior motive is always financially based. And basically his dad was telling him, son, I know you're not serious about being with this woman who doesn't love you. His dad even said that she doesn't love you. I know she doesn't love you. And you know where that come from? I know some beta male said, man, Johnny gonna come in and say, well, Dr. BOA, the dad don't know what the girl knows. He don't even know the girl. They ain't even invited him to the wedding, Dr. BOA. How he supposed to know how the girl feel for his son? And obviously him and his son ain't even cool. He ain't even invited him to the wedding. You know what? I'm tired of you already, Dr. BOA. You think you something right now? Because you got 6,000 subscribers? I don't care about that. Unsubscribe. Okay, unsubscribe, sucker. But before you go, let me tell you this. A man knows what he knows from his own experiences and the experiences of his peers. And then you get to the point like many of you men have, where you just look around in the society around you and you see that no one's having a great result from making that particular decision. At some point as a man, you have to look at a decision and say, that's just not a good decision to make. No one that I know is, seems to be, tickled pink about making that decision. No one I know is saying, hey man, everything is all peachy king around here. No one I know is saying that. And the bottom line is, when your elders are speaking to you, they're speaking to your spirit. So what his dad was telling him, trust me, this young man felt that in his spirit. But in his need to be combative with logic, You know, which happens to you when you're overly influenced by female energy. You tend to be combative with logic, you know, on the basis of emotionality. And this is what happened. And before you know it, man, this big scuffle broke out, man. The dude was trying to fight his dad, man. And his dad was still trying to calm the situation down. And forget all of that animosity you have. Don't do this, son. This is a terrible decision. This will never work out for you. I want you to understand one thing, my boy. No matter what has taken place between us, no matter what your mama told you about me, no matter how strained our relationship is, I love you, son, and I don't want to see you make this terrible decision because it is going to ruin your life. And you're going to come off the back end of this not knowing whether to live or die, not caring whether you live or die perhaps, and perhaps even deciding that you don't want to live anymore. I always quote this statistic whenever I'm talking about a marriage situation. 10 men per day in the United States. 10 men per day. 3,650 men per year. 36,500 men per decade kill themselves, commit suicide behind the results of a divorce. We're not even talking about the breakups where two people were together forever and didn't get legally married. They don't count those as divorce. Who knows how high that number is for long-term relationships that end? This is a terrible decision for a man to make, especially when the woman has the ulterior motive to drain your pockets. And you should know it. Whenever you feel like you're out of your league with a woman, it's because you are. You haven't developed into the type of man who feels like you deserve any woman. I'll never be out of my league with any woman. There is no woman on the planet where I'm going to be out of my league. I mean, unless I'm out of my league, if I'm too high for that woman, yeah. If my league is too high for that woman, then yeah, that's another thing. But as far as me being out of my league because the woman is too high above me, there's no woman on the planet. And until you develop yourself into that type of man who can honestly and earnestly believe that about yourself, marriage is always going to be a bad decision. And another thing I want y'all to understand is this, man. I'm not saying that there is no woman on the planet who's worthy of being a wife. I'm saying that the majority of women that men marry are not worthy of being wives. And just because you marry her, that will not make her suddenly and magically become a wife. There is a wife title and there is a wife duty. And the majority of the women who carry the title do not uphold the duties. And this is a perfect example of a man who has been there and done that, trying to save his son from giving a woman the title, who is obviously not willing, able, or even desiring to uphold the duty. I'm gonna go ahead and play the video for y'all, man. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.
Dearly beloved, today we celebrate one of life's greatest moments to give recognition to the worth and beauty of love as you join together in the vows of marriage. Bianca, will you have Damon to be your husband? Will you love him, comfort, and keep him, and forsaking all others, remain true to him as long as you love each other? Damon, will you have Bianca to be your wife?
I know you're not serious, man. I know you're not serious.
Will you love her, comfort,
Excuse me, pardon me.
keep her?
Excuse me. Damon, you're not gonna do this, are you?
Sorry?
You're not gonna really do this, are you?
Yes, we are. You
No,
can go
you're
back
not.
and sit down. Yes,
No.
we are.
No, no. Come on, man, with this. No. This ain't going nowhere. Man, you need to talk.
Why you come up here?
Man, you need to talk.
About what? It's nothing to talk about.
First of all, she just left you. I'm sorry, I'm talking to my son.
Yeah, but
No, I don't, listen, I'm talking.
If you do not want to come, you can leave.
Well, I'm
you shouldn't
invited.
have you
I
shouldn't
invited
have came.
myself.
You do not want us to
Well,
get
I'm
married.
sorry, but I'm going to speak my piece whether you like it or not.
Well, you need to leave because we're going to do
I
it.
need to talk to my
What do
son.
you
I'm
mean?
about to marry. Well, I'm talking to my son. Please don't.
No, I'm going to interrupt you. You can
Well,
leave.
anyway, me and you need to talk.
No,
What
you
we're
can
talking
leave.
about.
Somebody
I'm about-
escort him out
you ain't
because
finna
he
get
can
married. I'm about to
leave.
marry Bianca.
Yes, I am.
You can leave. You are not.
I just got a call yesterday. So honestly, it wasn't planned. This was a last minute wedding, okay?
Yeah.
Just so you know, there wasn't a lot of planning involved. I didn't even meet
They
him
just
until
picked up
today.
their flowers and everything just a few minutes ago. So that's what it was. He just got the text and just got off work and just came. So Damien didn't talk to him before. So
It's the book of Alpha Running Man, homie. Read it.